This project, Policy Pathways Towards 1.5-Degree Lifestyles, aims at contributing to strengthen existing approaches and co-create policies that help us walking the transition towards a society that creates well-being and stays within planetary boundaries. We know that it's a huge challenge, that the reduction path is steep, and the next century is crucial. The transformation will be, for all of us in the room, but also outside for citizen and for business, quite intense, I would say. And the Commission, with the Fit for 55 package, already put some legislation on the table and embark us on this journey. And I welcome Kerstin to have you with us today. And maybe just to quickly start into the topic, how do you personally relate to 1.5-degree lifestyles? Can you give us an example of your daily life or something you're planning to change?
I will in a second, because first of all, I also want to welcome all the participants in this policy lab. I'm very happy that we could organize this. I've participated in earlier policy labs in different previous lives. So I think it's a very good way forward and to open your minds for reflection. I also want to say, you mentioned DG Grow. This is, you wouldn't really expect us to be part of this story. And I'd like to say, yes, you have to expect us part of the story, because in the end, it's all about the business case. We have to walk the talk, and here, and that's really where our input is about the business case. And you can, of course, through regulation, and I saw your previous slide, you get the green products, but you also need somebody to buy them. So not only supply, also demand. And demand, that's us. And that's where I see the connection with the work we are doing through the different ecosystems. Because in our industrial strategy, we propose to have a transformation pathway for every single ecosystem, which is really looking at how do supply and demand match in that particular ecosystem. Is it in the case of tourism, renewable energy, retail, and this is how we intend to walk the talk, by also changing the demand side.
Wonderful.
Now, my personal examples is I have 4 children and only one child has a car. The others don't have a car, and the one child with a car has an electric car. And I have solar panels on my roof. I have a heat pump, and I am in the process of doing a hydro electricity with water. So this is my contribution.
Absolutely. And all of us are contributing somehow, I guess. But you forget something?
But it's important as well, what can people afford? And this is something we have to keep in the equation as well. There's, the perfect lifestyle you could have, but not everybody can afford it. And I would really urge all of us in this policy lab to think about the affordability issue as well.
Absolutely. And the second thing, of course, is that, all of us contribute somehow, but what we do not want to do is to put pressure on the individual to have to change things. What we want to do is to try to change the circumstances and the policies that enable people to be part of this. And this certainly includes the equity considerations you mentioned. And if you think about the business sector, about your ecosystems, especially the construction industry, how would you think you could translate, or how could you translate 1.5-degree lifestyles into their current business models?
Now, the current business models, they don't design buildings for circular economy. That's the first point. Designing the circular aspect already in the materials today will allow actually to do this, to recycle and have that. We have a number of rules that concern the construction sector, and here it is important that it's all coordinated, and again that it remains affordable. And here digitization also comes in, because if you want to recycle, you need to know what's in the thing in the first place. And that's where we are thinking about the logbook initiative. when we want to give a chance to new building materials. And as a member of the European Innovation Council Fund Board, I see amazing ideas about, including from materials, including from grass and other new materials. But again, you have to, you need standards to be able to use them for the purposes they're intended to. And we have to make sure that our regulation is not kind of regulation on a particular material, but that we look at the functionality rather than the type of product. At a previous conference last week, I said we need not brick and mortar, we need tech and mortar to think in these terms.
And absolutely fascinating. And you mentioned before the affordability. And do you have any ideas or approaches how to include these considerations into legislation or into the renovation wave or into existing legislation?
Well, one way is to set examples. And we can set examples through public procurement or through, for example, affordable housing, social housing, and the way we build, because that will send a signal. It will be a lighthouse to show what is possible. Another way is to compensate people. This is our Social Action Fund, the proposal we made together with the Fit for 55 package. But it's also about consumers actually wanting these products. And what struck me really, I don't watch television very often, but when they had these debates before the German elections, the one I watched was interrupted by advertising. And what struck me was that 70% of that advertising actually was about green, sustainable products. So the business case is coming and the business case is there. And if there's sufficient demand, then obviously, I don't have to tell the economists in the room, the prices will go down. So I do believe that the appetite is already there and coming.
Yeah. Having talked about the good examples, I mean, there is this very good initiative of the European Bauhaus. Maybe you can shed some light on your expectations or your hope that you connect with the Bauhaus.
Well, the Bauhaus connects with our work on a number of levels, and it's about giving, we're looking for new functionalities, sustainable, energy efficient, clean, circular, and to give a form to these, an aesthetically appealing form also to these functionalities. And in that sense, it's very much embedded in this old Bauhaus idea. What I've seen in terms of projects that were being pitched for this purpose, I think it's a great opportunity to showcase what is possible and to showcase that, functionality and form, like in the previous Bauhaus idea, can really come together in a very good and attractive way. And I do believe that the renovation wave and the momentum that's been created here, also because it's very close to people, what's closer than the roof over your head and your own walls will trigger that kind of demand and thinking.
And ideally, this will not stay as a lighthouse idea, but connect and be mainstreamed into legislation and have this,
lighthouses shine the way. So you need lighthouse projects to make sure the others can find the way.
Absolutely. And I'm very happy to have Xavier Troussard later on with us as well to connect with the Bauhaus and to see where current policies stand and where maybe this shining lighthouse could lead to and maybe push a bit, policymakers towards some new ideas and some new terrains.
If I can look at the Affordable Housing Initiative, for example, here we're looking at 100 social housing sites which could be the lighthouses. But what we know is that we will need to renovate something like 800,000 social housing units in the context of the renovation wave. So having 100 who can shine the way for the 800,000 to follow, that's
absolutely. That's a very good idea, and that's what we will work on today, and hopefully after this policy lab as well. And thank you very much for being here. If you have any last words or like motivational words for the people in the lab, I will give you the stage again.
I wish you all very good discussions and good outcomes, and that will definitely help us in our work around the construction ecosystem.
Thank you very much for being here, and I'm looking forward to further steps. Thank you.
Bye-bye.